Squatty Potty, I'm always interested to talk to people because I have no business affiliation with them. It's just a product that I truly...
Well, you should have a Squatty Potty joke because I don't have one.
We don't have sponsors right now on the podcast. We're getting them, so don't worry, everyone. You'll have to listen to me read uncomfortably for 2 to 3 minutes of podcast. But Squatty Potties would be a thing where if I had them as a sponsor, anyone that knows me wouldn't doubt it.
Right.
Because it changes the way you poop.
I'm going to have to check out the travel one though.
Get it. Okay. It's on Amazon. Okay. It goes flat. So like the legs come out. But here's the thing. If you're like me and you love to really get in there and poop with it, put your feet in there. You can't on the travel because it's very flimsy. So you have to keep your feet on the outside of it. But in a hotel, normally I'll just grab trash cans.
I was going to say you can just make your own.
But after, we stay in hotels for 3 nights.
Yeah.
By the second day, there's tissue, there's Q-tips, there's something in where you can't flip it upside down. Look into a travel Squatty Potty.
I wonder if like really nice hotels have you can request one.
I've never thought about that. Also, as an amenity, that's a good amenity.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, you want a Squatty Potty? Also, you have your special Queef Week, not Queef of the Week, as I called it off air. Which honestly, as a working title, it was great. I think you should. Queef of the Week is
pretty good.
You should do a segment called Queef of the Week.
Yeah.
Where someone just farts out of their pussy and sends it to you, and you grade.
And I grade the queef.
You go, that's a good.
And the queef of the week goes to.
And also queef let's face facts what it is. It's a pussy fart.
Yes.
What a nicer way to say that.
It is. I have to tell you how they say. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Because I have to tell you how they say it in Spanish.
I love this.
Because, okay.
Well, Carmen is you're one of the people I know that I always love when this happens, where on the surface you go, white lady. You're a white lady. You're doing white lady shit.
Versus what?
And then the Spanish comes out and you go, not a white lady.
Not only half.
Only half white lady.
Yeah.
I have a friend, Jason. I have friends that are full white that know Spanish. And even when they pull that out, you're like, right. It's a good party trick.
And then there's Spanish people who know no Spanish. And you're like, are you Spanish?
Luis J. Gomez.
Yeah.
Does not speak. I don't think he speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
I'm amazed by that because it is, as someone that only speaks one language, the level of shit talking you can do.
Oh, that's how I learned it, just from my mom. My mom taught my sister and I Spanish. And we would talk shit about my dad in front of him, but not negative shit. Like
just little small shit that you would normally do. That sometimes family shit talking when it's little can set off big things because you go like, he's frustrated and you go like, he did the thing again. And he's like, where are you? What the fuck did I do?
But also parties were great. Birthday parties. How are you going to plan dad's birthday party if he's always in the room?
Yeah.
You do it in Spanish.
All right. Another question. Did your mom and your grandmother on your dad's side get along?
Ooh, it's hard to say because my grandmother was in a small town up in Elmira, New York. She didn't really come down much.
So with your mom, what is your mom?
Spanish.
She's from Spain?
Yeah, from Spain.
So she's Spanish.
Yeah.
She teaches the kids Spanish.
Right.
Immediately a weapon against the other side of the family. You got to understand, that's how I think about family dynamics.
Okay.
I grew up with both my parents were divorced when I was young. So my dad's family hated my mom's family and my mom hated my dad's family.
Yeah.
So with that division, I'm always thinking about weaponry. I'm always thinking about, I'm the Sun Tzu of divorce. I try to think about what you could use. Your mom basically gave you a weapon to go against your dad's family because your dad's family is just white.
Yeah, but they never saw each other.
Okay.
Because first of all, everyone's very Catholic. So if there's any
Both
hatred,
sides?
It's internal and it stays down there.
Well, the hatred is real, but then you just have to push it in.
You have to push it in, really.
You have to mush it on yourself.
It's under the rug, so you never see it.
Being Catholic, my mom was raised Catholic. I have a lot of friends that are Catholic. It seems like if you poop your pants, you just have to pull your shorts up higher. Like it's not a religion where it's like clean your butt, get over it, They say like
you don't talk about cleaning your butt.
If you poop your pants, you just wear it.
You wear it and you don't talk about it.
It really is.
And then you do it in privacy, in private.
But then after a while, people are sitting around there go like, doesn't it stink in here? And they go like, everything is fine. God has forgiven us.
But is that religion? Is that Catholic or is that 1960? Is that time?
I think it's a mixture of both. Yeah. I think it was Catholicism was the excuse, but I think that was what you did in those times.
Yeah.
Because now we're therapy. We're like,
we're so therapy.
We're like, oh my God, let it out.
Do you remember when you first went I remember when I first started comedy, therapy was bad. It was like, it's going to make you unfunny. Stop it.
100%.
And now
I had such a guilt-ridden conscience.
Yeah.
Going to therapy, being like, this is going to make me unfunny, that I finally brought it up to my therapist. And my therapist was like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard of my life.
Or it's like, going to fix you. Like, can I stay for 6 months and then be funny again? Because...
Well, he was like, if you fix your problems, this is how he explained it to me. You're funny. Your personality is made.
Yeah.
This is just cleaning up all the shit. You're like, it's almost like if I don't clean up from the party, I'm never going to have another party. And you're like, well, no, you're just going to sit in garbage and feel like shit for a while.
But didn't you feel like the garbage was what made you funny?
I felt more like that with drinking.
Okay.
When I was drinking, I was like, I had to have a real conversation where I was like, when I stopped drinking, because it was my personality.
Yeah.
It was like, I was the guy that was like, are we going out drinking?
I almost barely remember that dance.
Yeah. Where I was like the guy where I would show up and people would be like, fuck, we're going to do shots. Because it was my personality.
Yeah.
So that was harder for me to be like, am I not going to be funny quitting drinking? But therapy... I think it should be mandatory for every comic.
Amazing. Yeah.
I think every comic, it should be mandatory the way like athletes go to athletic trainers.
Yeah.
I think comics should have to go to a therapist.
I think it should be in elementary school.
Yeah. I think therapy is very good. And it's crazy how our parents' generation, it wasn't happening.
My mother, when I first told her I was going to therapy, I said, you should try it. Like a positive. Don't you dare tell me what to do with my life.
My mom just shrugged it off by going, no. I'm in my 70s.
Yeah.
And almost, dude, I remember one time my therapist told me to confront my grandmother. And I was like, she's in her 90s. What the fuck do you want me to do? You think she's going to change? You think that smoky-eyed dog is going to be like, oh, yeah.
Also, they don't remember. They have pushed everything down.
It's
They'll be
so
like,
crazy.
I don't think I ever said that to you.
Dude.
It's weird. It's weird. My landlord is in his 70s and he lives downstairs.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been around for 5 months. He's been in the hospital. So my boyfriend and I just take over it's just a two apartment building.
Oh, so it's just you and another thing.
Yeah. So we like blast the music and we're like, I hope
Dad's
he feels
gone.
better, but Dad is gone.
Later, Dad. Yeah, let's fucking party.
It's weird. And
how long have you guys lived there for?
6 years.
Okay. So
we know him well.
I knew my old one. No, I didn't know him well. He wasn't in the building, but I had the same landlord for about 14 years.
Yeah.
And
in Astoria.
Yeah. Yeah. And you really do start finding out what you can get away with. But then there is this feeling, like you said, or I don't know if you meant this, but like, do you feel any responsibility to the building? Do you feel like, well,
fuck no.
Okay.
No. I shoveled the driveway today for the first time, but that was so that we don't fall.
Yeah, but it's also like, do you kind of hold that over the other apartment? Are you kind of like, hey, we're out here doing the responsible thing?
I mean, there's no one else to...
Oh, because it's only you and him.
It's just us.
Oh, there's no one else.
It's like we own the building now.
That's pretty sick. That's actually really awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, I hope he's okay, but that's pretty awesome.
But also, it's great. Like, I'm thinking about getting a dog, and he doesn't want us to get a dog.
I say get 3 dogs.
But if he's
make him mean as shit.
If he hasn't come back in 5 months, is he coming back?
He's just in the hospital watching this podcast on YouTube. He's like, fucking, I want to get back. There was Vecchione and our building was like 6 or 7 apartments.
Uh-huh.
And he never fixed anything, but he never raised rent. So there was like this weird like loyalty to him where we loved Anthony.
Ours is the same.
And then this guy moved in above us and he was having a very loud party. And it was interesting to see how long it took Vecchione and I to be like, we should say something. there's other neighbors. Like we felt this responsibility, like Anthony's not here. We were being nerds.
Yeah. But, well, it's hard because like two of our lamps don't work, you know,
like lamps,
our lights.
Oh, like
our ceiling lights.
And it's not the light bulb?
It's not the light bulb. It's an electric problem.
Yeah, that's something you got to call him up.
And my boyfriend's like, I feel bad because he's in the hospital. And I'm like, well, I don't.
No, you're still giving him your money every month.
Yeah, but...
how are you guys... You know what you should do since he's in the hospital? Hire someone to fix it.
And then bill them.
And then bill your landlord.
Yeah.
And then take it off the rent.
Yeah. Because
that's a good way of being like, I hope you feel better. We took care of the problem. Here's how much it costs. It's a very... a non-passive aggressive white person move.
Yeah.
Where you go, I actually took care of it. This is the billing. Let us know how we can settle this. And they're like...
There's also a part where we think he's got these like mob type nephews who come over and they're like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, I don't want to fuck with these guys.
Yeah, there is a feeling. Anthony had that voice where he could call me and go, Dan. Yeah. How's everything going over there? And you're like, don't bust my knees.
Well, when they
You'll have your goddamn money.
When they go, I know a guy who can fix that.
Yeah, they always do.
Call my guy.
Call my guy. That's always what Anthony said.
Yeah.
We had a tile that fell off in our shower that was missing for 4 years.
Yeah.
And we had to Vecchione and I put a plastic or a garbage bag over it with duct tape. And I'd be like, Anthony, I can hire a guy. You go, I got a guy. Yeah. And you're like, well, then have him show up. It's been 4 fucking years.
And their guys always shit, though.
It's always shit. It's always very cheap.
We had a mouse, and we were like, we're going to call the Exterminator. And he goes, I got a guy. And this guy came over, and he opened some hole in the back behind the stove. Like, I guess I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding, he took a scoop of peanut butter, like a big scoop, and he fucking threw it in the hole and shut the thing. And I'm like, that's how you take care of rodents? You just give them a place to feast?
You just hit them a jackpot and give them a little nook?
Eventually, they're going to run out of peanut butter.
But that's also like the penthouse. That mouse, let me tell you something right now.
Yeah.
That was the greatest day of that mouse's life. That mouse was like, what? Private quarters? And a chunk of peanut butter the size of me?
Yeah.
That'd be like if someone gave you, that'd be like, that's the food equivalent for a mouse of Scrooge McDuck. Like that is a room of dimes to like, or coins to like swim in. Is just that much fucking peanut butter.
But can I just tell you, that was a year ago. And I'm like, that's going to bring in so many more mice.
You think that mouse isn't having a mice party?
Mice party. There has not been one mouse.
You can do it on the shelf on the reverse shelf that we built wrong that we'll never fix. We will never fix this because you can't you have to take this whole bookcase apart.
Oh, never. And this isn't even real wood, right?
No, it's just IKEA.
So you have to go like this.
It's like corkboard. Yeah.
But there is I haven't seen one mouse. I think the
I'm surprised
works.
Carmen, it's not Club Carmen. And everyone's over there being like, he's like, welcome to the VIP room where we've got a fistful of peanut butter. I love that he did that. And he's like,
that's it.
Washed his hands and he went, well, the opening, that'll fix that right up. Oh, you just gave them exactly what they wanted?
Yeah.
I love that.
And then throw in their like traditional jobs. And now I'm a comedian.
How did you break that to her? I'm always interested when friends of mine who have immigrant parents break it to them, like Stavros. I was very interested to buy it. Same with you. How do you tell your mom, who's from Spain, which stand-up is an American thing?
Yeah.
Americans know the most about stand-up. Oh, goddamn funny. Yeah. But everyone does stand up now.
There's so much English comedy in Barcelona. So much. Like when I go to Spain, I mostly go to Madrid because I want to do Spanish stand up. Like I just prefer.
Oh, so Barcelona is like English stand up. Madrid is like Spanish stand up.
Mostly. Yeah.
So when you tell your mom I'm doing stand up, how old are you?
Oh my God. First of all, when I first said I was trying stand up, I did it with a day job so that no one could give me a hard time. Like,
I think that's what we all do.
Yeah. But they were like, what is that? What is that?
Was
like
she, like,
my
mad
Spanish
about it?
relatives, they were more confused. They thought it was a hobby for a while. And I
Oh,
was
your
like,
little performances.
Let them think it's a hobby. And then I did the wrong thing. I invited them to a show.
Person until 10 to 15 years in.
Correct. Can I have a tissue? Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. No, but the problem with that, I like your method better.
I mean, I just say that after going through it.
Yeah.
Because I wish they would have watched me fail in the open mic era. Some of my friends did. And so then they can go like point of reference, like, oh, dude, you've gotten so much better.
But Tip, the problem with that is that they don't forget that. They don't forget that horrible evening. So it doesn't matter how good you get. It'll be like, are you still doing that thing? Years later, are you still doing that thing? Are you still doing that thing?
People came out when they come to a show and you sell tickets. People showed up and you go, it's a special taping.